But soon, I realized that Tianzen's face was a little strange. His palace of bliss is surrounded by a wisp of black gas. That's not a sign of bad luck. It means that he has recently lost an important family member. This is Tianzen realizing that my face is wrong. He said calmly, "You can see it all." Master Wen, I put down the wine glass, hastily asked what was going on. Tianzen shook his head. "I don't want to say it yet." His voice suddenly became cold. "It gives me a strange feeling. What has he encountered outside in the past 3 years?" "Okay. Don't say it if you want. Today we only drink alcohol." I smiled and raised my glass. This meal, Tianzen and I drank from noon to night. After going out, we went straight to the previous alley. I was dumbfounded. Tianzen took out a yellow talisman from his backpack. I don't know what to say. The next second, the yellow talisman spontaneously ignited without fire. Seeing this, I exclaimed, "Good boy. No see for 3 years. Have you gained a lot of skills? Leave me alone. Dude is doing it." At this moment, Tianzen's face suddenly became solemn. And it dawned on me. I haven't seen this kid for 3 years. Did you go to learn spells from any Taoist priest? No wonder I can't see through his face. After a moment, the burning prisoner seemed to have a soul. Flew straight to the depths of the alley. Tianzen and I glanced at each other and hurriedly followed. While chasing him, while explaining to me that this female ghost died unjustly. So there is resentment. As long as there is this kind of energy, no matter where his body is. I have a way to find. Tianzen said to me with some pride. And I was surprised. These death spells are really powerful. Soon we came to an abandoned park. At this time, the prisoner is gradually burning out. No more flying. Seeing this, I asked suspiciously, "Have you found it?" "Yes, I found it. But there are some trouble." Tianzen stares ahead. Said fiercely. I subconsciously looked around. I saw that this abandoned park is not only desolate everywhere. And there's an indescribably eerie feeling. Even the rooster in my arms is starting to shiver at the moment. At this time, Tianzen suddenly turned his head, asked me if he still remember 5 years ago. Has there been a car accident here? Hearing this, I suddenly became nervous. You mean there's another ghost hiding in this park? Tianzen didn't answer me. He took a nickname out of his backpack. I put 2 drops of the blue liquid in the bottle on my eyes. I know it's for crying and watching ghosts. Tianzen looked around. Finally, his eyes are locked under an old locust tree. I subconsciously looked at the past. I saw countless right hand dragging under the old locust tree. Could it be that these canes strangled this female ghost to death? I couldn't help but shiver. Tianzen walked over with a cold snort. I quickly followed. But just as he was about to reach the old locust tree, I felt something soft under my feet. It's like stepping on a blanket. It's very flexible, and I looked down curiously. I saw under the thick dead leaves. He actually pressed a female corpse, and when I peeled open the leaves on him, I found a vine the thickness of a finger, and strangled his neck. It's like you don't want to let him go. At this moment, Tianzen looked down at the lady. murmured that the ghost had been dead for several years. Some way. That's why I killed this female college student. And this woman seems a little quirky. What do you mean? I asked in confusion. Tianzhen looked up at the old tree. Explained if I read it correctly. This woman is born with a sinister life. That's why the old ghost hit him. Absorbed his young. Enough to get that old ghost to the big factory. As he spoke, Tianzhen took out a yellow talisman and pinched it between his fingers. Said to me with a solemn face, "You take his body first." The voice just fell. The wind suddenly blew all around. I know that Tianzhen is mostly going to fight that old ghost. As a mortal, I would not join in the fun. Pick up the body and run out the door in a hurry. Ran about less than 100 meters. I heard the sound of ghosts crying and wolves howling. Then came the sound of fighting. I don't know who has the upper hand. But Tianzhen's expression was so solemn just now. I knew that old ghost wouldn't be easy to deal with. At this moment, I can only pray that Tianzhen is safe and sound. I ran to a wooded area in the suburbs. Then gently placed the corpse on the ground. Then the rooster slowly moved closer to the corpse, staring at a pale face. And he was stunned. I didn't know how to comfort him. I can only say that a person cannot come back to life after death. Girl, my condolences. Thank you for comforting me. The female ghost said an encounter. Turned into a wisp of blue smoke and flew out. And the rooster fell to the ground with a wailing sound. Die. After about half an hour, Tianzhen ran this way from a distance. He doesn't appear to be injured. Just a little pale. I immediately went up in surprise. Asked how the old ghost is doing. Tianzhen smiled slightly. He waved his hand. It's a piece of cake. It's all solved. Finish. He glanced at the corpse and the female ghost on the ground. The female ghost immediately lowered her head. Bah. Shangfire has seen the Taoist priest. Don't get close to me. Tianzhen waved his hand expressionlessly. Then he said coldly, I'll give you a ride. Or go down by yourself. Hearing this, Shangfire suddenly knelt on the ground. My father died in a car accident 3 years ago. It was my mom who pulled me up by herself. If she knew I was dead too, we'll definitely bear. I bet you. I just want to spend one last month with my mom. I'll be gone in a month. Naive sneered. Ghost rude. If you insist on staying in the world, then I can only take you down in person. As he spoke, he took out a yellow talisman. Quasi, don't see it. I hurriedly went forward and pulled him Tianzhen. Don't do this. He just wanted to see his mother. Why do you have to kill your feelings? What if you let him stay in the world for a month? It won't be the same for him to go by himself. But Tianzhen pushed me away. What do you know? You can believe a ghost. You look at him now with a pitiful look. Maybe if you turn around, he will suck people's young. Did you know that he is the king's ghost? Dead king will be directly crushed to Dead King City. There can never be a chance of reincarnation. I was stunned when I heard that. The painter also told me. Ghosts in the city of death really can't be reincarnated. Is this female ghost really lying to me? But what if she really wanted to see her mother? I looked at Zhang Fei's tears streaming down her face. In the end, he turned to Tianzhen and said, even if it was, I beg you to give him another chance, okay? Hearing the sound, Tianzhen sighed. Say, oh my god. One should not have compassion for everything. You are in danger. It will also harm a lot of people. After saying that, he pointed at Zhang Fei and said coldly, you better remember what you said. Otherwise, I don't mind letting you go to ashes. Thank you, dearest. Zhang Fei cried with joy. Kneel down immediately. You don't need to thank me. If you want to thank me, thank my good brother. Tianzhen waved at Zhang Fei. Then he turned to me and said that he would handle this for me. Take him to his mother first. Wenyan, I nodded. He turned around and took Zhang Fei away. But not long ago. Tianzhen suddenly chased after him in a hurry. Oh no. I forgot one thing. Today is the day when ghosts come to the sun to catch wandering spirits and ghosts. If Zhang Fei is caught, it must be safe to go to the city of death. I was shocked. He subconsciously glanced around. Hastily asked what to do then. You hurry up and possess this rooster. Don't come out. Tianzhen pointed at the bewildered Zhang Fei and shouted. Who knows, the voice just fell, suddenly blowing round. My heart skipped a beat. It's the ghost Aaron coming. When I look back, the attack that was already dead. He fluttered his wings and flew into my arms. I can clearly feel the chicken's neck shaking. Apparently something appeared that scared him. Remember what the master once told me. A ghost that can go to the sun to drive away ghosts. At least they are all old ghosts who have been doing chow for hundreds of years. Something so extreme walks past you. Mild fever cold. At worst, you can't afford to get sick from now on. Although I can't see anything now. But I can clearly feel it. The wind is blowing in front of me. What do you do, Tianzhen? I anxiously asked Tianzhen for help. But Tianzhen said, pretending to be stupid without looking back. I was about to speak, but I saw him suddenly talking to himself. That smiling face. It's like I met some boss. He didn't have the calmness to deal with that ghost just now. What is the role of the ghost here? Let Tianzhen continue to flutter. While I was stunned, the cock in my arms suddenly cackled. The voice is clearly fear and stiffness. I subconsciously looked up at Tianzhen. I don't know if it's an illusion or what. I always feel a pair of sharp eyes in the air, staring at me, made me break out in a cold sweat for a moment. I feel like running away. But out of the corner of his eye, he saw Tianzhen, gesturing desperately to keep me calm. I'm about to cry. How do you calm down? This feeling lasted for about 10 seconds. As the wind gradually dissipates, the temperature slowly rises. I know the ghost should be gone. He hurriedly pulled Tianzhen to leave quickly, for fear that they will come back again. But at this time, Tianzhen said an unfathomable sentence. You don't think that the ghost didn't find Zhang Fei, do you? I was stunned for a moment. What do you mean? If the ghost has discovered Zhang Fei, then why don't you take him away? Because he wants to sell you a favor. Tianzhen suddenly looked at me with a strange gaze. Sell me? I'm a little confused. Could it be that this ghost just now asked me for something? Is there still something you want me to do? You'll find out in a few days. Tianzhen looked like he didn't want to say more. Because considering there are other ghost errands tonight, Tianzhen and I took Zhang Fei home together. But when you get home, Tianzhen is walking around the house. He had a strange look on his face. Seeing this, I went up and asked, "It's not the first time you've come to my house, kid." As for being so curious, unexpectedly, Tianzhen shook his head and said he was not curious. It's that your house is filled with evil spirits. I looked at him in surprise. You didn't scare me, did you? Tianzhen frowned and continued to say, "Why am I scaring you? There is more than one kind of demonic energy. There have been at least 3 kinds of monsters in your house in the past 2 days. And they are not shallow." My heart skipped a beat when I heard that. When I slept several times before, I always feel like some furry hand is touching my face. To say that's my wolf mother, I can understand. But where did the other 2 demonic auras come from? Tianzhen continued to say that there are still. Your master is a well-known feng shui master. Human magia is proficient in almost everything. But such a knowledgeable person. How could a house like this be designed? Wenyan asked suspiciously. What do you mean? What happened to the house? What's the problem? Big problem. Look at your electric switch. No electric door faces west, and the doorstep has 3 floors. It's still paved with new bricks made from locust trees. And here's what's even worse. Even the temple gate is made of locust wood. This is the ghost gate. Specially for ghosts to enter and exit. I was stunned when I heard that. How is that possible? Master, this shop is dedicated to treating people. How could you design a ghost gate